Are you trying to decide between the Ninja Pro XL and the Cosori TurboBlaze? Let me help you out here. Welcome back to my air fryer series. This time I tested both of these air fryers side by side, looking at the design, features, and actually cooking in them. The Ninja Pro XL I'm comparing is the bigger 6-in-1 version. There is also a 4/4 4-in-1 model, so I wanted to make it clear first. The Ninja has a 6.5/4 basket. Cosori gives you 6/4. Not a huge difference, but Cosori's basket feels wider compared to Ninja's deeper basket. And just to give you an idea of spacing, I can fit in a 8x8 square pan inside Cosori's basket, but not in the Ninja. So this is great if you like to bake cakes. 8x8 pans are a lot easier to find in any store. Smaller sizes are much harder to find unless you can score a cheap one on Amazon. The basket and tray of Ninja have a nano ceramic non-stick coating, and Cosori only mentions non-stick coating. So this leads me to believe that it is Teflon coated. Ninja's tray is very light and thin compared to Cosori's more sturdy structure. And I like that Cosori's tray has this little built-in handle to help lift it up when it's hot and food falls through the holes. With Ninja there is no handle, and I have to poke my silicone tongs into one of the holes to try and lift it up, and you can see it ends up tilting, so you have to find something narrow and small enough to fit into the holes. The power wattage, Cosori runs at 1725 watts. Ninja runs at 1750, more or less the same power. Now the size, Cosori is slightly shorter but wider and heavier compared to Ninja's lighter, taller design, and it shows in the build. Ninja is so light it slides around when you push it. I feel they skimped on the rubber grips on the front end of the air fryer. Cosori is more sturdier. Cord length, Cosori's cord length is 39 inches, giving you some extra movement with your air fryer, but Ninja's 34-inch cord length keeps things neater if you don't want the extra wire hanging around your counter. It even has a push button to release the basket, but honestly I found that annoying as it's an extra thing to do to be able to open the basket. Cosori's top panel looks fancy. It has a big bright display which is touch sensitive, but it's a dust and fingerprint magnet. Ninja's panel is front facing, it's easy to read and reach, but it's more basic. For ease of use, Ninja is dead simple. Cosori does give you more control if you like playing with settings, and it has more items displayed on the panel which I'm not sure is really necessary. Cosori has extra settings like broil, proof and keep warm. Ninja does make up for it though, kind of. It doesn't have a proof button, but you can use the dehydrate mode. It goes as low as 105 degrees Fahrenheit. I tested this as part of my review video, and we'll leave a link to that video if you want to watch the full review. For broil, the Ninja tray can be raised to the upper level, and that brings it closer to the heating element, giving you the feature of broil. And keep warm, well, you could just leave your food inside for a few more minutes if you need to keep it warm, or just run it on a very low temperature. So Cosori gives you options and you have to try and figure out the settings. Ninja just works without overthinking it. Both air fryers reach 450 degrees Fahrenheit, but Cosori does it using turbo mode and a DC motor with 5 fan speeds. Ninja just calls it max crisp. Cosori has soft beeps and runs quietly. I like that I can use the proof or dehydrate mode for a long period of time without a loud humming sound echoing around the kitchen, which unfortunately is what Ninja does when you're using the dehydrate feature. I don't know why Ninja can't work on reducing their noise levels. Both the beeps are loud and while it's operating. Ninja does not have an auto pause and resume feature like Cosori. So when you do pull out the basket, there is a lot of hot air blowing out. So I have to be careful my young kids are not standing too close. And if they do use the air fryer, I have to remind them to pause it before removing the basket. Moving on to cooking performance, I preheated both units for 4 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I cooked 2 pieces of bone-in chicken thighs, starting at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I flip them and spritz the top with oil. Then I increased the temperature to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes to crisp them up. Ninja was cooking too fast and I could hear it sizzling, so when I checked on it after 3 minutes, I had to take them out, otherwise the skin would start to burn. I left Cosori for the full 5 minutes. The skin was crispy on both. Cosori was a tiny bit more crispy and therefore slightly drier compared to Ninja's. Ninja's chicken was a lot more juicier and slightly tender compared to Cosori's. I think the fan speed affects moisture. A higher fan speed blows more air around the food, which can dry it out faster. And don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying that it was very dry. I'm just doing a comparison between both the Ninja and the Cosori. Cosori's chicken is juicy, just not as juicy as Ninja's. And you could see it as I cut through. The knife sliced through Ninja's chicken quicker than Cosori's. So both delivered good crispy results, but Ninja definitely was more juicy and tender. Of course, I had to test out frozen food at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I loaded them up with tater tots with Ninja on max crisp, and they cooked for a total of 13 minutes. For Cosori, I selected the frozen setting and they cooked for a total of 12 minutes. Since Ninja cooked for 1 extra minute, they were slightly darker in color compared to Cosori, and although the results were very close, I still found Cosori a tad drier than that of Ninja, but nothing too noticeable. I really wanted Cosori to have a win, so with the air fryer still hot, I cooked some fish fillets. For Cosori, I set the time for 10 minutes, hoping it would prevent them from drying out. For Ninja, I set the time for 15 minutes, but I had to take them out after 12 minutes. But I got similar results again. Ninja was slightly darker because of the extra 2 minutes, but they still managed to retain their moisture compared to Cosori. You can just see the difference with Ninja just glistening and more of a golden color. Again, I think it's down to the fan speed of Cosori being very high, causing it to dry out a little bit more than Ninja, which seems to find the right balance of heat and airflow, retaining the right amount of moisture and getting that perfect crispy exterior. So let me know in the comments, what would you go for? Quieter performance or better cooking results? I have full video reviews and demos of these two air fryers. I will leave those links in the description box and also at the end of this video. If you guys want to see more on these air fryers or what I cooked in them, then please go ahead and watch them. I hope you guys found this video useful. Please don't forget to leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. I try my best to bring out videos every week, and I hope to catch you all in my next video.